Greetings, listeners. Good to have you out there determined to develop your proficiency in this language, English. Today at Phenomenal Success Academy, the following effort is an attempt to answer one of the questions one of our subscribers recently jotted down on one of our videos. She asked that how can she learn English language? In other words, she would like to know how to develop her proficiency in English language. Or not only English language, is it possible for her to learn English language, Arabic, French, German, or Chinese? Well, listeners, here comes the short answer. First thing to do when it comes to language study is listening. Listening. Listening, listeners, is very important. There is need for you, the language learner, to make sure that you listen to the native speakers as regularly as possible, or those who have mastered the language. The more you listen to the native speakers, the more likely it is for you to be picking up some things here and there, so as to discover how words are being pronounced, or how some emotions are being expressed, and so many more things. The second thing, listeners, is speaking. S-P-E-A-K-I-N-G, speaking. And this simply means practice. As the saying goes, without practice, one can never excel a thing. You do need to practice. You are determined to learn English. You need to start practicing how to speak in the language English. And my advice to you is that when you talk, you are likely going to make mistakes. If you do make a mistake, do not worry. And let's say you say something wrongly in public and some people laugh at your mistake. Well, the advice is that do not care about the way they laugh at you. But if somebody who knows what he or she is doing advises you how to fix that mistake, please, even if he or she happens to be a younger brother or sister, or even if it's a student, if you happen to be a teacher or a lecturer, my advice to you, accept that correction. So that is about speaking. You need to speak the language as regularly as possible. Listeners, the next one on the list is socializing. There is need for you to socialize with the native speakers if they happen to be available at your area, or if they are not available, you are not living in a European country that is if it is English language, then you need to mingle with those who have mastered the language. Mingling or socializing gives you so many opportunities, without which you will not be able to discover so many more things. So to cut it short, you need to mingle with the native speakers or those who have mastered the language, so as to develop your proficiency in this language, English. The next one is thinking. T-H-I-N-K-I-N-G, thinking. As a language learner, listeners, you need to think your thought in the language. Whenever you are going to think using, you see, as the saying goes, when the mind thinks, it's communicating with itself. Okay? If you are going to do something immediately after watching this video, I know you are saying something on your mind. Then you should discipline yourself to make sure that you say the thing on your mind using that language English. You are so determined to learn how to speak it properly. Do you understand? So to cut it short, you need to think your thought in the language. The more you think your thought in the language, the more your mind becomes used to the language. And the moment you open your mouth to practice speaking it in public, believe me, you will flow. You will speak without having to grope for the next thing to say. The last two, which are equally very important, are reading and writing. You need to write in the language, because when you write, you are communicating And the more you communicate, the more you practice. And the more you practice, the more easier or better it is for you to communicate in the language. Well, listeners, the last one is reading. You need to read because readers are leaders. Well, listeners, that's that for that. Thank you very much. If you too have a question to ask, please do jot your questions on one of our videos. Be sure we are going to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Good luck in your English studies. Bye for now. Love you all.